up the work session. Time is 5:44. I will make a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? All opposed? Agenda approval. I will make a motion to approve the agenda. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? All opposed? All right, any updates, staff updates? Other than Brad?
No, y'all should have reports from
Everybody good?
everybody.
Yeah, we got everybody's reports.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. All right, old business, line item number 1, O-22-05, amending the fire hydrant meter security. So I think everybody was here except last month, Dr. Sterling. So what that was is we did a first read on it, and we are going to, if passed, raise the security deposit for meters from $1,000 to $1,500.
This is for like construction,
For them to
fire
really
hydrant
get the
meters
meter.
only, not service one.
Yes. So are you all good with that, Dr. Sterling? Anybody else have any other questions for
Can
Shannon?
it be put on the consent?
No, let's do it separate since it's second reading.
All right, new business, line item number 1. So it has been brought to my attention that we are missing some information on the final plats for Twin Lakes. So I will make a motion during the council meeting to table that. Just so we know. All right, line item number 2 under new business, Public Works Building off Cabin Drive. Discussion only.
Yeah, discussion only. So let me just pass out these maps. We're gonna put this into next year's budget. Just wanted to bring y'all up to date. Pass it over to them. So this is the land that the city owns, down on Cabin Drive, the ball fields. Brett and I have been up there, we've been looking at the property to build a future public works building. As most of you should know, the wastewater treatment plant's about to go through 2 major expansions. So we're running out of room down there really fast. This would be a good spot for us to put a future water public works building. In the pine trees kind of behind the tennis court there that you see. There's already existing parking. This is kind of away from everything. You know, we'll probably build something like a 7,000 to 10,000 square foot metal building, be a workshop inside of it, a couple of offices, a couple of bathrooms. Probably do security fencing around the exterior of it, more gravel type ground for storing equipment, and just have it a secure building, kind of out of sight, out of mind. But for what the city already owns property-wise, I believe this is really a fantastic location. If you've ever been out there, the cell phone tower is right there adjacent to it. So when you look up, it's right above you. So good spot, and we're putting numbers together now for next year's budget for it.
And there's already parking out there, right?
Yeah, it's a huge parking lot there that's for the, baseball games and tennis courts and stuff like that. And really, our guys, we won't interfere with that because there's really nobody there during the day, during the weeks. All the baseball fields are used in the evenings and the weekends, so it's an ideal setup.
Yeah.
Any questions about that? Y'all come see me or, ask me now.
We got time. Lots of time.
We have lots of time on this.
Yes. I just wanted you to know which way we were headed and planned.
All right.
Is this the only site we have, or is there another one we're considering, or is it just this one?
I don't really know of another site here in Houston that we would have that would really accommodate that. The only other property we really own is right downtown here. This is the place to be.
Yeah.
About Cabin Street, though.
Yeah,
Well, it's tucked away too, compared to 53.
yeah, it shouldn't bother any neighbors. Of course, it's not noisy, stuff in, but it's secure.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah, outside out of mind, there's a decent amount of grading there, there's a pretty good bit of slope, and all those pine trees are in the way, but, these days, it's just a matter of time the bulldozer to level it out. You know,
Okay.
get it set up.
Alright, line item number 4. This is gonna be on the SDS agreement with Jackson County. We've gone over it a couple of times in past meetings, so if anybody has any new questions? No?
Yeah, excuse me.
Alright. Line item number 5, the election, agreement that we have with Jackson County. I think we talked about it 2 months ago. We were originally at $2.50 per registered voter for them to hold our elections. Well, now we have renegotiated and they're not gonna charge us anything. It'll be included in the SDS.
So if y'all remember, like last month's meeting, Jennifer and I were both looking at each other because we both had separate emails. But yes, this had come down the pipe to begin with where they were gonna charge us $2.50 apiece versus the $1 that we've been paying. But as we've been negotiating a full service delivery strategy agreement, the county has changed their position, is gonna do elections for us at zero cost.
What made you
So-
decide to do that?
Well, you know, it's
Negotiations with
negotiations. I mean, we've been arguing this with them for 2 years, but for the publics, I mean, y'all need to hear this because this is what you pay Jackson County property taxes for. And so now the city of Hoschton is no longer gonna have to pay them for elections. They are gonna cover that within the taxes that you pay the county for the city. It's one of the benefits we get as a city.
Alright.
Where will the next election be?
November.
I mean, when will it?
I
where
think
will it
we're
be?
I think this side is at the church.
The church turns out to go through, yeah, so it's free chapel.
Free Chapel.
Cause it's a
What is it,
mix.
Cherry Drive?
Cherry Drive, yes, Cherry
Yeah,
Drive.
that's where they're gonna be at, since the county's holding, not Hoschton.
Okay. Is that a consistent impact?
Now, are you gonna keep up with it?
It could be, sure.
Okay. Alright,
Number 6.
number 6, the Fall Festival street closure. We do it every year. It's for our fall festival that we hold every year. We bring thousands and thousands and thousands of people in. So for safety, we try and close off that area so that we don't have kids or vendors running around and we have cars going around where we have pretty much all of our vendors. So that's what we do to keep everybody safe while we're having a good time.
And it's this street, Railroad Avenue, all of Town Square, and then Bell Avenue that connects to Town Square that goes south to White Street.
Yep.
Just this all.
There'll be no more green
Not during the fall festival, no.
ever again.
Not that-
Town green.
Yeah, across the street. I thought you were talking about like at all.
No, town green concerts on the stage, it's all done.
Yeah,
Over.
I gotcha. Alright, line item number 7, temporary outdoor alcohol license for sliced pizza. So, per our ordinances, naturally they can't sell alcohol outside, so we would grant them permission to do so for this one-time approval for the fall festival. Alright, line item number 9, that is the LOC from, I'm sorry, line item number 8. So originally on the agenda, we had discussion, but I think we are going to vote on it tonight. And it will be to change how our setup is on our work sessions and council meetings. So what we're shooting for to kind of split it up, since now we're getting much busier here in Hoschton, so we're pounding in too much information in such a short amount of time. So we're hoping, you know, should it pass, that we're gonna do our public hearings and or work sessions on Thursday nights, and then the following Monday is when we will come and vote on it. So that also gives you guys an opportunity to attend the work session, hear what's going on, and then you'll have from, you know, Thursday evening to Monday night to reach out to us with questions, concerns. It just gives you a little bit more time before we vote, so that you have more of an opportunity to ask questions, voice your concerns. So that's what we're shooting for with that.
So the schedule on the Monday night is not changing.
Yeah, it'll still
We're
be
just adding the Thursday night before that.
for the work
okay.
session or.
It's always the
here.
third Monday.
Yeah,
So,
and both will be here and both at 5:30 PM
and that's starting in August, right?
in September.
September.
If it's passed, September. All right,
August.
we're almost through August. All right, line item number 9 is the Peach State Bank and Trust. So what that is we have to update who all is on the loan. Isn't that what we're doing, the update on it, right?
It's just part of their
Policy, because we have to provide a resolution for them, for their policy, and we've already voted it in, it's already on, but Ab is on there, I am on there, Ab is our city attorney. I'm on there, and then of course Shannon Sell is also on there. So we just need to provide the bank a resolution so that they meet their policies in order to do that. All right, line item number 10, the change order for the groundwater investigations, exploration. So Shannon, I'm gonna let you explain why we need that extra
So
money.
I didn't get this, I think, until Friday, and
I
I
didn't
sent
get it
it
till
out.
today.
I think y'all got it, but.
Yeah.
Yes, okay. This is this company that we've been working with for about 2 years now, exploring groundwater, drilling wells. Jerry Hood and I, Brett, water crowd, we had a big meeting with these guys back in June about future possibilities of where, when, and how, and the maps and stuff that they've drawn, all the soundings that they've had in the area. We've been after them for a proposal to go to the next steps, and this change order is for $165,800. And that's to explore some new sites, there'll be some test drilling done. That's about what we started with too, was about that figure, because I see here the grand total was $297,150, but that's going back a couple of years. This would be a maximum amount. It just depends on, the first one they drill, who knows, it may be fantastic. And we hit good water right away. Jerry and I are also working about maybe us doing some of this on the side if we want to do it. This mulberry track over here, we may just hire a well driller to go poke a couple holes there and just see what happens without paying him to do a whole lot. But this will be a maximum amount on the change order, the 165.
And then we need to jump back up to line item number 3 for the new playground.
Playgrounds.
We got several.
And it's amazing the education that I've had on the kids' playgrounds the last couple of months. I've sent this out to all of y'all. I mean, I've got a stack here of several hundred pages of playgrounds. I kind of told everybody what we needed, and I said, y'all are the pros, you design me a playground and give us a price. And I said, we're in the budget area of $100,000. My recommendation would be the one that was the cheapest. I think it meets our needs, and
Which one was that?
it is Playboy. And y'all you can pass this around. There's actually some couple foldouts in here that were pretty good size.
So,
I don't think we should have a playground without shade, like.
And this one has shades on it too, because it was legal.
I don't see the shades on the playground.
Shannon, he's saying shade on that playground.
Yeah.
See my shades? It has shades for the picnic tables, shades for the
Over the
benches.
playground itself, because it gets so hot during
Well-
the summer, the kids can't even play on the equipment, because it's.
This one
burning
has
hot.
the tunnel slides.
Okay, so
It's only got shades over the top of the slides.
alright, so when I was looking at them, I liked the Little Tykes Playworks, I guess maybe I'd get joint company for option 2. And I liked it because it did a smaller for like 2 to 5. I got it. Oh, no. Because Cause it did ages from 2 to 5, but then we also have a separate one for 5 to 12. It's got the coverage, and then it's also had, like, handicap inclusion swings on it. It has the lowered where children who may be wheelchair bound or, you know, some type of issues with their legs, they can still get on there and play as well. So I really liked that option because of it. However, it was at 113,000, so about 13 over what we were looking at. But I kind of liked it because it had a lot more options, more inclusion than that.
Well, and the lowest bidder is about 86,000. You know, if you wanna put more shade over the top of the playpen, we put another shade in there.
Now, and then the one that you were looking at, did it have the handicap swing?
Yes.
It does have one?
It's got the one where we discussed where the mom and the child sit facing each other and swing.
Excuse me, did we ever get to speak on this? Did we ever get to talk?
Yeah, during citizen input. Yeah. So, what do you guys think?
I defer to.
Well, I like it because I have a 2-year-old and I also have a 9-year-old, so when I go to the park, it's nice to have, you know, a playground for my 2-year-old and a playground for my 9-year-old, all in the same spot. So that's my preference. It's also got the shade.
I think the shade's a big deal.
It is a very big deal.
I think the shade's a big deal.
Yeah.
Those built-in shades are much cheaper than trying to build an independent pavilion type structure over the top. We'll spend as much money to do that. It really needs to be part of this.
Part of it.
Yeah, let's see if she's giving me an itemized price. Things keep going in the papers.
I think it's a pretty smart idea right now to table this. Because,
You wanna-
I don't think we need to make decisions on passing a piece of paper tomorrow.
Okay.
And plus you
No,
can
no,
get
review.
citizen input on it.
Okay, that's fine. So during the council meeting, I will make a motion to table it for a month. That'll give them more time, our citizens more
Put
time
it
to reach out.
online, let them vote what they like to do.
We can do that.
There's 1,000 pages in
Just
We can do.
a picture of the structure itself is all we really need.
Yeah. Okay, so during the actual meeting itself, I'll make a motion to table it. And then we'll go from there, and then they'll also have their opportunity tonight to put their 2 cents in. Alright.
Before we go into citizen input,
Uh-huh.
we can put items 4, 5, 6, and 7.
Four is a table. Well, look at the, regular council meetings, because they're different numbers.
All right, hold on. Let's see, we can do 7 tonight, right?
On which agenda, regular work session?
Regular council meeting,
7,
SES.
no, it's got a resolution. Okay. Is SES
Yeah.
consent or no?
It's up to y'all. If y'all want to, we can do 7 through 12.
7
Yeah, 7 through 12.
Okay. I'll go over when it comes to that.
Alright, so 7.
Okay.
Wait. 7, take 11 out, I'm not.
Okay.
Well, no, it's discussion.
All right. We've now reached the part for public comments, citizen input. Very similar to what we did in the public hearing. If I'll call for a show of hands, and if any of y'all want to speak, please raise your hand. I'll call you up. You come to the mic. Each speaker will have up to 3 minutes to talk about anything you want, with the one exception being, since we've already had and concluded the public hearing on the cell tower thing, the Viasat, please don't comment on that, but anything else, you're welcome to come to the mic. I'll give each of you 3 minutes. Please state your name, your address, whether you're a resident of the city of Hoschton. Oftentimes, some of y'all may have been in meetings before, some of you have not. Sometimes people want to come up and ask questions, and that's perfectly fine. However, it is a time for public comment. It's not a Q&A session, so if you ask a question, and nobody up here has an answer, I'm sure they'll work on that, try to get you something as soon as they can, but we won't turn it into a Q&A, in other words. Just come up, state your comments. If you have questions, ask them. Don't go over your 3 minutes, and then we'll proceed to the next person.
Hey.
So is there, go ahead.
You talking about the Q and A, getting that set for this week? Is that set?
Yes,
The
so while we're
17th at
talking
3?
about it, let me make sure.
And then-
Our next Q&A, you know, we held ours last month, and it was a great turnout. This month, we're doing it on Wednesday, the 17th, so Wednesday at 3:00 p.m.
At City Hall.
at City Hall.
So just, and that's informal, there won't be a quorum of mayor and council there, so you can come, just sit down, ask questions, go back and forth, it's just a general discussion. Feel free to join us.
All right, so does anyone wish to address the mayor and council this evening? If so, please raise your hand. I see 1, 2, 3 hands. Anyone else? 4 hands. All right, ma'am, if you want to come up first, state your name, your address, whether you're a resident of the city of Hoschton, if you'll come to the mic. And
For
then
safety, can I just use my middle school teacher voice?
go for it. Yeah, that's fine. You'll have up to 3 minutes.
And I have just one comment.
Okay.
Christina Brown, 205 Trail Run, City Limits of Houston. I'm glad to see that you're talking about dividing up the council meetings to provide for more time for citizen input. I also realize that the Monday night meetings have been scheduled and approved through the council for 5:30 on Monday nights. However, this Thursday night meeting is a whole new ballgame. I would urge you to consider a start time of 6 o'clock for those of us who work. In particular, I've been urged to slow down in the city of Houston as we grow because we don't have traffic control and take different routes to work and such things. So, but even with that, I find that I have to leave 30 minutes early to come to these meetings. I would love to be able to get here in a more comfortable fashion. And I think I'm probably not alone. 6 p.m. on Thursdays. Please consider it.
All right. All right. We'll go with public commenter number 2, who I think was seated over here. Oh, great.
I'll just sit right here.
All right.
The playground.
If you'll state your name, your address, and whether you're a resident of the city of Houston, and then you have up to 3 minutes.
Sarah Beecham, and I live in Crestwood, Twin Lakes, like most people here tonight. My question is about the playgrounds and forthcoming things. Number one, where is the playground going to be? And the revitalization that is going to be happening that we've seen questionnaires and surveys for. Why isn't this part of the revitalization, and shouldn't everything kind of be packaged in that so that we have a better feel for it going forward?
So the park will be located, or the playground equipment, on Cabin Drive. So it's property that we already own. There's already parking space there, so we wouldn't have to add a parking lot. Now, as far as revitalization, I'm not sure what all you're grouping in with that.
So y'all send out a survey, and there's gonna be, going forward, some changes made in Houston. And I would think that we would want to incorporate all that and get it all in the same type, venue, same plan, city plan.
The playground's completely separate, it'll be mostly funded through SPLOST.
Yeah.
So it's on property we already own, it's pretty well set up, we're partnering with Jackson County to do a little bit of work with it.
The ball fields,
Yeah,
right
it's
next to
over
the
at the
tennis
ball
courts.
fields. I'm not sure what all you're talking about revitalization, if you wanna get detail, we might have some answers for you, but that would really completely separate from anything downtown oriented.
Yeah, and because Cabin Drive's not in the downtown area.
In DDA, the revitalization's been talked about. That's talking about this strip right in front of City Hall. That's the revitalization that the DDA's been talking about. Putting plants and flowers and beautification of that, not the entire city. We are working at the entire city. We have a comprehensive plan, and we have a plan of action that we're working toward, a lot of different elements to it. But also on the playground, this playground is actually, we have a playground back here, we're aware of. It's very old, and it's in a problematic area so close to the highway. So it's basically doing away with that so that property can be utilized in another manner. And this park will take that park's place basically. So it's just a playground setup type park, not an entire build out of the park, if that helps.
All right, sir, with the South Carolina shirt on, I think you raised your hand. Have 3 minutes. You say your name, your address.
Go on.
and the residence.
Scott Bowling, live at Butternut at the village of Hoschton. My question is, with the grants we get, I realize we have to get grants, federal and state and everything. Are there ever strings attached to that money so that we have to do certain things or make certain guidelines or anything in order for us to keep that money?
Yes.
Always.
And I mean, we couldn't even begin to give an example because every single grant, something's completely different. It's not kind of like a blanket, this is how you get the grant, this is what you have to do. With every single grant, it's different.
Can you publish those?
I mean, it changes. I mean, first one that comes to my mind is the ARC grant we got for Panther Court over here that's, what, 4 or 5 years old now?
Yeah.
You know, and we've had to extend it multiple times, and we finally, just a few weeks ago, got the final easement from a landowner. So now it goes to the final engineering and hopefully construction. We wrap that up on a sewer upgrade over there. But I mean, this has been going on 5 years, and there's been multiple things to that grant.
So if there's like a particular grant you have a question about,
Well, it's more of an overall question, because sometimes I'm just thinking that, you know, a federal grant, they may have strings attached.
Oh, they always
Where
do.
it really won't benefit us as a small town.
Look, Scott, I'll tell you this, last year we got a lot of, I still call it COVID money. ARPA money, American Relief,
American Rescue.
Rescue, yes. We got I don't know, let's just say $1 million, give or take a few. But we've set aside that money to do a main water line project through town here to take advantage of the new water tank, the volume and the pressure from it.
That's underway.
And that really didn't have any, it had some strings attached to it, but not really detailed stuff.
But the grants are always specific to a project. They don't just say, here's 600,000, how do you want to use it? It's, we apply for a grant with specific use in place. So water tower grants or what have you. So there's, I don't know of a grant where you can just choose how you use it. It's gotta be applied.
Yes, generally always gotta go to a certain area. And some of them some of them are very specific. You apply, say, hey, we need to build a new city hall, and we need $2 million, and we're gonna do this, this, and this with it. You know, it may be a 50-50 grant, it may be a 60-40, you know, a matching type grant. I mean, it may only be 5% of it. I mean, you just, all the grants are different, and, you know, there's federal and state departments, and all of them are different. I mean, there's all kind of grant opportunities out there, but they're all.
yeah, that's just a tough question because every single different grant and different it's just all different.
Okay.
But if
Yeah.
you don't do those stipulations, they'll pull that grant.
They certainly will. So like if you say you get the grant and you have to do XXX, if you don't do XXX, they'll pull the money back.
For the new water tank up here, we got $600,000 on it. And it looks like we're gonna get $750,000 for the south water tank.
And what do we have to do?
Exactly. What'd you give up?
We gave up nothing. It's
It's a grant.
that would be a matching grant.
On those 2 grants.
That is not a matching grant.
They wanna know if there's like strings attached, like what?
What we have to do, we have to use the money for what we said we're gonna use it for, and that was to, help pay for a water tank that our community needs for water storage and pressure.
Yeah, I think one of the big concerns of that is it making us more like Gwinnett County? You know, we all left Gwinnett County for a reason. And if we accept that kind of money, is it kind of flowing up here?
No.
It's flowing up here whether we want it to or not, unfortunately. But that's how, I mean, you know, without saying a whole lot more, 38 years ago, I lived on Jimmy Carter Boulevard, it was 2 lane.
Yeah.
We knew it was coming then, and it's going all the way to Charlotte, North Carolina, like it or not.
If y'all quit moving up here, it wouldn't be like that.
All right, our last commenter, I believe, right here.
The only comment I have.
And if you'll state your name and your address.
Jim Saz, 276 Silver Court. The only thing I have is, this is my first meeting,
And I would appreciate if I could get names to kind of go along with the faces.
Sure, there's nameplates in front of each person up here.
But you can't read them.
Waste the money.
Okay, all right, I am Mayor Lauren O'Leary. We have Councilmember Scott Mims, Councilmember Adam Ledbetter, City Clerk Jennifer Harrison, City Attorney Abbott Hayes, Interim City Manager Shannon Sell, Dr. Sterling, and then Tracy Carswell, Councilmember. And then we're missing Mr. James Lawson, another council member.
All right, and that's it for public comment, so that'll conclude our work session.
Sir, you missed me actually.
Yeah.
When you were.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize.
You know,
All right, if you'll state your
I'm trying
name.
not to get any bigger, but
Sure, yeah.
83 Indian Creek Way. It's just
If
outside.
you'll state your name and your address.
Chad Latonis,
Thank you.
83 Indian Creek Way. It's considered Hoschton. It's outside city limits. I do own a small business inside city limits. My question's simple, and it's probably more directed for the chief. First of all, congratulations on getting a bad guy wanted off of our streets the other day. So kudos to you, number one. Most people don't see what I was privy to see. Second of all, you did say something about the fall festival with traffic, and I know the people that have raised concern to me, though I don't have much concern about it, were concerned about it expanding over to the Dollar General side. Obviously, my business is over there, and I also have a car in the car show, so I don't care, but I'm just wondering, what's the traffic control in place for that?
That's 3 months away.
I mean, we don't have, usually, always, Chief Hill is out there with traffic and,
Yeah, I should have enough by then, hopefully,
Yeah.
to cover that. We'll have enough vehicles in the city of Houston and hopefully part-time people to cover the traffic, keep people safe.
Yes, sir.
If not, we'll contract out to the county and have them come help us. I'll make sure everybody's safe, let's put it that way.
I didn't know if you were gonna be in need of volunteers or anything.
Oh,
I was
absolutely.
just gonna offer to assist.
Absolutely.
Obviously, with Dan Haynes, the car show, whatnot, we can incorporate people, and I just wanted to kind of throw that up. If you need it, reach
Oh, yeah,
out.
yeah, get with me, I take volunteers all the time, absolutely.
That's all. Sorry to interrupt y'all.
Thank you.
Can I say something? Or no?
sure,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
So I agree with you.
If you can state your name.
Lori Forrester,
Thank you.
President.
Thank you.
I agree with you on the playground to have, space for smaller people and larger. And, in Collins Hill, they have an incredible playground. I don't know if you've seen it, but it has a zip line. It attracts older kids to give them something to do and a place to go, like that. And then the only other thing is the integrity of the look of the buildings that are being built, is it the same? Is there a plan for the look of the whole build out, whatever we're doing here? It's gonna be good. Thank you.
Very much so.
Thank you.
Yeah, it'll all stay in the same theme of what we have.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right,
That's it.
all right, the time